Good afternoon, everyone. Let's start with our old topic of chapter number 1 once again so that you will be more clear about it and we will revise it once again. So, the chapter number 1 is Introduction to HTML. As in our daily life, we use various websites, web pages, etc. on the internet. So, the question here arises is that what is internet? So answer is internet is a network of network. Now on this platform of network, various web pages are saved at different locations, and we search or Google anything, we get that from various locations. That is why the first point shows that on the platform of internet a distributed information system exists which is called World Wide Web. That is, we also call it as WWW. Now the next point shows that the thought or the notation of web page was first given by Tim Berners-Lee in 1991 while he was consulting at CERN in Switzerland. CERN is a European organization for nuclear research, means nuclear research was done over there. Next topic is about the HTML. It is now we are coming to our chapter's name. HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. Now while using or going through any website, you have ever thought how the text appeared, how images are inserted in the web page? Have you ever? So the answer of these questions is with the help of HTML. HTML describes how a web page appears or displayed in a web browser. For example, when you are going through any website, you see many more videos, many more images, written text. So all those things are done with the help of HTML tags, and that tags and written text content are shown to you in your computer with the help of web browsers. Example of web browsers are Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, Internet Explorer, then Safari, and whatever internet web browser you are using to surf the internet. So it is also known as that HTML is a web language because it is used to design a website. Here are the few characteristics of HTML. The first shows that it is a language for describing a web page. As I have told you earlier also, it is used to create and design a web page. That is why it is a language for describing a web page. Next is it is a documentation language to mark a content of a web page. So to decide anything or to write to decide anything that would be appeared on the web page, we have to first design for it with the help of tags. That tags are known as the marked content. That is why it is a document language. Next is machine independent. Machine independence means anything that was created on one machine with one type of version or one type of language that would be appear or that would be executed on the other system without any problem. Like suppose you have created a web page in your computer and now your friend want to use that particular web page or want to see that web page in his computer, but his computer is 2003 version of the operating system or he is having some different browser. So it is possible for him to see that website, to view that website easily without any disturbance in the content of the website. Means one thing created on one machine can be executed in more than one machines without any problem. That is known as machine independent. Now next one is accepted by all the browser. It is accepted by all the browser, as all the browsers like Mozilla Firefox, Internet Explorer, etc. easily show you the content of the web page which is created using the HTML. That is why it is accepted by all the types of browser. Next point is fifth point, kind of markup language. It is known as a kind of markup language because for defining each and every line, each and everything, each and every design, we must have to use tags. So these tags are the type of markup that we use to implement or to accomplish our task. Now the sixth characteristics is derived from SGML. It is derived from SGML, and the full form of SGML is Standardized Markup Language. So first SGML was created, and on the basis or from the idea of SGML, HTML was created. Next one was the 7th point. It offers fixed set of tags. Note that we have various tags to accomplish or to implement our task, so we cannot use our own tags. So user defined tags are not used here in the HTML. We have to compulsorily use the tags which are in the library of the HTML. So that is why it is called as fixed set of tags. We don't have our own tags. Now we are coming toward the few terms that we are going to use in the HTML. The first term is opening tag. Opening tag means whatever tag written between the angular bracket. Angular bracket means a bracket which is represented with the help of greater than sign and the smaller than sign and the greater than sign. Whatever things are written between that is known as tag, and this tag is opening tag, and the last one tag is the same tag, but it is followed by a this tag is followed by a slash sign, or you can say preceded by a forward slash. That is why it is known as closing tag. You can identify the closing tag with the help of this forward slash. So whatever is written between this opening tag and the closing tag is known as content. So the opening tag, last one is the closing tag, that is preceded by the forward slash, that is known as closing tag, and whatever is written between these tags is known as content. Now this whole things markups are elements, means this whole thing is known as a content. Whatever is written between all the tags, opening tags and the closing tags are known as the content. Now this we have completed with this only. Closing tags are preceded by the forward slash. Now every document is embedded or encoded between the HTML and slash HTML. It means that whatever starts will start with a HTML, and if you are done, then you have to compulsorily you have to close that document with the help of slash HTML tag. Next one is that for writing the HTML code or for designing a web page, we have to use gedit or Cyty. These are the two softwares or the editors which are available in the Ubuntu. Along with that, if you are using Windows, then you have to use Notepad with Windows. Now after completing the task or coding, you have to compulsorily save that particular document with the extension .html or .htm. These both extensions are same for gedit, Cyty or Notepad. There is no difference in the use of extensions. Now very important point is that latest version of the HTML is HTML 5.0. This is the very important point. Sometimes it is asked in exam also that which one is the latest version of HTML. So your answer should be 5.0. Now coming towards the structure of HTML, as I have told you, every time you have to start with opening tag of HTML and at last you have to close with the closing tag of HTML. Now the next comes the head section. Head section will give you the heading for the web page, document of the web page. Now title will give you the title of the web page. This head will be for the document of the web page, and this will be for the web page. Okay, so wherever I have written ... there you have to write something. It will be closed by the closing tag of head. Now comes body. Body contains the various tags, means whatever tag we are going to learn, that will be written within the opening and the closing tag of the body, and at last we have to conclude it by a /html tag. Now various tag. Let's start with the title tag only. As I have told you, this title tag will specify the title of the web page, not the web document. Document is the another thing, and page is another thing. Now about the heading. Heading style, the tag that we will use is H along with the numbers from H1 to H6. H1 shows the greatest font, and the H6 will have the smallest font. As you can see, H1 bigger one, then a little bit smaller one is H2, then again with that H3 is again a smaller compared to H2. In the same way, at last H6 is there, which is the smallest one. So a question may be asked that which one is the biggest, which one will show you the biggest size in heading style. So answer will be hashtag H1, and for the smallest one answer will be H6. Now let's start with the basic tags of HTML. Href, anchor, it is also known as anchor tag, which is used to give links. Sometimes you may have seen that while surfing a website, some sentences are written, and when your cursor goes on that sentence, the cursor's pointing converts to a fingertip. That it means that it was link given over there. So you can also provide a link with the help of anchor tag. So for that, let's take one example. Suppose I want that whenever my user click on a particular word, I have to redirect that user to a Google's home page. So what I can do, I have to write a href, then I have to write www. As I am online, I have internet facility and it is on, I will write google.com, then close the bracket, right click here. Now close the href. It will give you the output as click here on your web page. Only click here will be shown on your web page. Whenever a person click on this, click here, he will be directly taken to the page google.com. So this is the use of anchor tag for providing the link. Next one is bold. Whatever is written between this both the opening and the closing tag of bold, the text will be converted to the bold, means it will be emphasized and the darkest one. Next one comes with the U tag. U tag stands for the underline tag. Suppose I am writing here U, and in that I am writing again click here, and I am closing this one. So output will be like click here, but this time this words, both the words will be underlined. So this is the output of the underline. Now coming to the TT, whatever is written between this TT will be shown as the typewriter font, means the same font as it was written with the help of typewriter machine. Next one was the strike through. Strike through is again an important one. Sometime some date was declared, and when that date was cancelled out, then a strike through sign was used, or to cancel out something we use the strike through sign. So for using that, let's take one example. I am taking S and I am writing that do not. So for this the output will be do not, but the thing will be striked like this. Next comes pre. Pre means whatever you will write between the pre, it will be shown as it is in the web page. Next one was the paragraph. Paragraph is every time used whenever you write a paragraph. For writing the paragraph, either one paragraph, two paragraph, or three or more than that, you have to use P tag. Next come italic fonts. So whatever the word or the sentence you want in a italic, you have to compulsorily write that one in a italic tag, between a italic tag. Next comes BR. So student, note that while we are writing something, if you want to go to a next line, we use enter. But the web browsers which we are using, all the different types of browser, does not understand about the enter key or the use of enter key in the web page. It means that the browser and the HTML does not use enter. So for writing the things in a new line, we have to compulsory use BR tag. So for with everything, with every completion of the tag, we have to use BR if you want the things to be in a new line. Suppose if I am writing like this only, the output will be continuous. Like it will write, I am writing the output of this 2. Click here, there will be a underline, as I have written this in a underline tag. Then in the continuous line, it will be written do not. Okay, and that will be a strike through because I have written that in a S tag. So this will be the output of this one. But if I want this both to be a new line, means click here and do not will be in a new line. So what I have to use in between this, I have to use here BR. So now this time the output will be like this. Click here and do not. Now next comes align attribute. Align attribute is used to give the appearance of the heading. So align has the 3 attributes, that is left, right and center. If you will write align is equal to right, it will place the heading from the right side of the page or the content from the right side of the page. And if you will write left in place of align is equal to left, if you will write left over here, then the content of the page will appear from the left side. And if you will write center over here, then the content of the page will be appeared from the center of the page. Now comes small. Small is used to write the font, one font smaller than rest of all. Means suppose my all the fonts are of size 4, and if I have written something between small, then that particular font will be one lesser. Means if it is 4, then it will give you one lesser, so that whatever is written between the small will appear in a font of 3, font size of 3. Now next one is opposite of small is big. It will give you one font size bigger than rest of all. Suppose my all the fonts are in a size of 4 and I have written something between big, then that whatever is written between big will appear 1 point bigger. So plus 1 means that all the fonts will be in 4, but particularly the things which are written between the big will appear to be a more bigger, that means in a size of 5. Now comes subscript. Subscript means sometimes it happens that we need to write something above, like x n plus 1 or like x 2 plus n, something like this. Okay, so all these things are in a raised form. So raising the things upon a normal letters, we will use subscript. So let me make one use of subscript. What we can see, what we can do for writing this x is in a normal form, so we have to write it as it is. Now we have to raise n plus 1. So for raising we have to use sub. Okay, in sub we have to write n plus 1, then close this sub and you will get this output. Now your homework is that you have to find the code for x 2 plus 2 plus xn plus 1. For this you have to find out the code. Now next one is subscript. Here the subscript means the things to be raised down. Before we were raising up, now we have to raise it to down. Like sometime it happens that we have to write H to O. So for writing this, what we have to do, as H is in the normal form and O is in the normal form. So normal, whatever the things are in the normal form, we have to write it as it is. So H will be as it is. Now 2 is raised downside, so we have to write sub, then 2, then close the sub. Now what comes? O. So we have to write O. So you will get the output as H2O. Now again I am giving you some work. You have to write code for CO2. Now Q as written in the example, whatever, suppose I am writing here first, so this first will be written in a quotes. Now definition, that means to define the spatial terms like global warming, you are defining or giving the explanation or the definition of some word. During that time you can use def. Then acronym defines the content of the acronym like synonyms, then antonyms. In the same way acronym is also there. Next comes horizontal. Sometimes you use your ruler or the scale to make a line, a big line, so that it shows that your work is completed over here or the topic is completed here. So you use a horizontal line like this. Okay, so for creating this line you have to use HR. Okay, you have to do nothing, you have to just use HR. Now comes body. Body, it will contain all the tags of the document. It defines the body part of the document. Head is used to give the heading to the HTML document. Previously we have studied that title is used. This title is used to specify the title of the web page. Title of the web page. Now here we are using heading to define the section of the HTML document. Now HTML, it covers that entire element of the HTML document. Mean whatever we are going to write will start from the opening tag of the HTML and close with the closing tag of the HTML. Now this we have already discussed. Cytee. Cytee is an editor which is used to for editing a HTML document. Along with the Cytee we can use gedit, and in Windows we can use Notepad. Now coming to the next point, that is empty tag. Now empty tag and the container tag, both are the opposite of each other. Empty tag are those tag which does not needs any closing tag, like HR. HR does not need any closing tag. In the same way BR. BR does not need any closing tag, means like this. They does not need this. They only need to be written this one, not this one. So these are the empty tag because they do not contain anything in them. But in place of that, if I am talking about I tag, then U tag, then B tag, all these tag contains something in between them, right? So these tags are known as container tag. Why container tag? Because they contain something between the closing and the opening tag. Like we use container to keep sugar, salt. So that was contained in the container, in that box. In the same way, you can look it as a box in which the contents are kept. So that is why they are given the name container tag. Now this is about the container tag and the empty tags. Now as I have already told you, angular bracket, about the angular bracket. The brackets which are represented with the help of smaller than sign and the greater than sign are known as angular brackets. With the help of angular brackets only, the various tags are created. You can see that we have always used the angular brackets. Now at last, after completing your website designing or web page designing, compulsory you have to save with .htm or .html extension. Now at last, if you want to view your result or how the page appears in the web browser, you have to use F5 function key. So this will show you the output of the content. So student, here your first chapter ends and I will give you notes. The notes was already given and I will give you few questions based on chapter number 1 that you have to write the answers of that and you have to show in your post in the WhatsApp group. And this is your today's homework that you have to compulsorily you have to answer this one first after watching this video. Thank you. Have a nice day. Be safe and stay at home.